grade 12s, I'm back with the exponential inverse functions. Let's do a few. Let's start by drawing these three functions before we draw their inverse functions and write the names on the inverse functions on it. Graad 12, kom ons skets eers hierdie drie inverse funksies en daarna skets, dit is nie inverse, die gewone funksies, kom ons skets hierdie drie gewone funksies, daarna skets ons hulle inverse funksies, and after that we write the name of the inverse functions on it. Ek het so lank die kartesiese vlakke geteken, and see in the red the symmetrical axis y equals x. Die symmetriese as y is gelyk aan x. Ek het hom ingeteken want inverse is die refleksie in die y is gelyk aan x as. Inverse functions is the reflection in the y equals xx. So let's start. This one is our mother function that we know, our exponential mother function. So we know we can get our y-intercept by substituting x with 0, and that gives us 1. So that's going to be our, we know that one very well, that's our y-intercept. And then we also know that we've got a horizontal asymptote. Ons het 'n horisontale asymptoot, want ek kan nie vir y 0 maak nie. As ek y 0 maak, bestaan daar nie 'n waarde vir x nie. Therefore, this x-axis is my horizontal asymptote. So, hierdie eksponensiële funksie gaan dan so lyk, with the x-axis as the asymptote, and then the equation of the x-axis is y is gelyk aan 0. Die vergelyking van die horisontale asymptoot is y is gelyk aan 0. So let's get this x-axis, let the curve round in very nicely, so we can only determine a coordinate over there. That's enough. Ons kan net een koördinaat hier bepaal, want hierdie x-as draai ons, die horisontale asymptoot draai ons funksie mooi in hier. There's no coordinate there needed to draw the function nicely. So let's get an coordinate there. Let's make it 2. When the x value equals 2, the y value equals 4. So dit is ons fx funksie. Kom ons gaan teken nou ons inverse funksie. Very easy. The x and the y values are switching. So the x-intercept will now be 1. And then I've got a point over here where the x and the y values of that coordinate will switch. And then I've got my inverse function that I can draw. And now instead of the x-axis being the asymptote, now the y-axis. Eers was die x-as die asymptoot, dit swaai op. Nou is die y-as die asymptoot. There you are. And the equation of the y-axis, you've got to write it down. It's x equals 0, because that's now your vertical asymptote. Okay, now we need to write down the name of the inverse function. So we're going to have the inverse function, C notation, and the y and the x value switches. So it's x equals 2 to the power of y. And I've taught you in the previous lesson how to rewrite that in terms of logs. If you need y to be the subject, dan kan ek gaan sê dat y is gelyk aan die log van 2, skryf hom onder toe, x. So the inverse function is then y equals log 2x, and I determine the name of the inverse function. Okay. Okay, let's go to this one. This one, if we want to draw it, we make the x 0 to get the y-intercept. Again, the y-intercept is going to be 1. So ek x 0 maak, is die y-afsnit weer 1, want enige iets tot die mag 0 is altyd 1. Goed, onthou, as ons terugdink aan ons moederfunksies, as daardie waarde 'n breek is, so we can get then instead of increasing, it will be decreasing. So met ander woorde, hierdie funksie gaan so lyk, ons moet hom ken, as ons byvoorbeeld vir x minus 2 maak. Let's take an example. If we take x to be minus 2, it's a half to the power of minus 2, en om hierdie ouetjie bo te kry, to switch the denominator and the numerator, that one becomes positive, so it's 2 on 1 to the power of 2, and that equals 4. So if my x value is minus 2, then my y value will be 4. So I've got a coordinate over there, I've got my x value to be minus 2, and then my y value will be 4. So now I've got a coordinate there, I've got the point of the y-axis intersection there at 1, and then again the x-axis, y equals 0, is going to be the horizontal asymptote. So if I draw this function gx, it's going to look like that. Goed, ek het my refleksie dan, wat ek wil teken, the inverse function. So now I'm going to simply switch 4 and minus 2. So it's going to be 4, and my y value is going to be minus 2. So it will be approximately there, 4 minus 2. Let's switch that values in the coordinate. And then again, our y-intercept equals 1 in the original gx. Nou gaan hy op die x-as gelyk wees aan 1. En hierop, ons y is gelyk aan x-as, gaan die twee funksies mekaar sny. So let's draw that inverse function, and remember, the x-axis was the horizontal asymptote. Now, the y-axis is going to be the vertical asymptote. So let's draw it. It's going to look like this. A beautiful reflection in the y equals x-axis. So you can work out the point of intersection if you want to, if you equal the two equations. Okay. Now the last one, they give the function as hx, and it's a log function now. Hulle gee die funksie as 'n logfunksie. En nou wat baie belangrik is, let's think back to the learning work that we've just studied in the previous lesson. Kom ons dink terug aan die leerwerk wat ons in die vorige lesie onder die knie gekry het. Ons het geleer dat ons moet kyk na ons a-waarde. If a is greater than 1, then it cuts the x-axis at 1. I've got a coordinate over here, that's 1 on a, that's a third. And my y value must be minus 1. And then I've got another coordinate over here, and that's going to be a as the x value of 3, and y will be 1. So if you've studied that, it's very, very easy now to simply just insert the values according to your learning work. So nou kan ek hierdie ouetjie gaan teken. Dit is my funksie. Waar gaan hy? Dis my logfunksie. En hy is hx log 3 x. Now, to draw the inverse function very easy, so just simply swap these values. I've got a -1 on the x-axis and a third on the y-axis. So there's my one coordinate, -1 and a third. Then on my y-axis, I've got a 1, because on my x-axis it was a 1 on the function. En dan kan ek hierdie laaste koördinaat omruil. Dis die koördinaat 1, 3. So my x-waarde is 1 en my y-waarde is 3. X value 1, y value 3. Swap those two and now I've got my beautiful inverse function. That one over there. And now my x-axis is my asymptote. There, the y-axis was the asymptote, so it swapped too. Let's quickly determine the name of that inverse function. Die naam van die inverse funksie. As ons vir x en vir y omruil, dan het ons vir x is gelyk aan log 3y. And if you write it in terms of y, then y equals 3 to the power of x. That's my inverse function of h. So hierdie ouetjie, this brown one's name is y equals 3 to the power of x. Beautiful. Go and practice the inverse functions of exponential functions. Gaan oefen die inverse funksies van eksponensiële funksies en maak seker dat julle logaritmes verstaan en julle leerwerk ken. See you tomorrow.